Let's get this round up and going. We're not going to miss a beat on this.
So as far as this plane path is concerned, a little bit more harsh than what we've seen in the first game. We are going to be moving from that right side of the map all the way down past the military base. So getting to Georgia Pole, something we've seen from the other teams headed that way, a little bit harder this time around. The whole western side of the play zone is going to be a bit of a trek.
And that's exactly it. We talked about Tempo Storm loving to do the Gatka trash strategy. There's a lot of guys that like to do Severny. It's going to be hard kind of reaching anywhere past that Rajok area. Yasnaya guys, they'll be pretty all right with it. Naturally, everybody around the Milta area. But if you're a Georgia Pool team, this is kind of rough for you. You've got to figure out how to do that modification. You've got to get those vehicles. You've got to do those drops. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see if anybody has like a potential skirmish around a vehicle. There's nothing I love more than the fist fights as people are trying to charge towards a vehicle.
Absolutely. Trying to get those vehicles in the early game can be deadly, especially when you have a long trek to your loot area. So for Tempo Storm, we'll see if they, even though they managed to get second place in the last game, something that we've seen from them time and time again, regardless of how the game starts, it is always consistent for them. We have seen the first circle reveal itself, and we are headed to the military base.
Oh, my Lord. I know right now, every single one of these players is just kind of like looking down. This is something that nobody in the competitive environment really likes to play around, because now you have to figure out, okay, do I get a boat? Do I try to like fight through a bridge camp? What's going to happen? We don't tend to see too many bridge camps that happen in competitive PUBG unless this occurs. This means that there's not going to be a lot of really good spots that you can play around. Definitely not a lot for 20 teams, so we might see people finding little crevices to play around. A lot of people are probably going to be playing around the edge of the island. There might be a couple of teams that even opt on staying on Orangel proper, so that way praying against like to every PUBG RNGesus god that they can, just like, please don't send us to military base.
Absolutely, and they didn't actually have the chance to get that far north, but now it looks like for a team like, again, Dignitas having to head to Severny, are they going to really commit to that strategy, knowing how far they have to go? Tempo Storm is going to stick to their plan. They're moving towards that Gatka region once again. Wildcard does have the option to boat across from Primorsk. Slime Squad trying to strike out and find a place to get started here. I think this circle and this timing has really put some of these teams in a bit of a pickle, as they don't really know what to do here.
And it's exactly, whenever you couple that with Military Base Island, you've got to figure out, okay, whenever you get a Military Base Island game, you know that position is king inside of this. Position is always important, but you always want to get the loot, so that way you have the tools to really propel yourself into the late game. Now these guys have to go, okay, do I want to take the time to get the loot, or do I want to get the good spot where I know that I'm probably going to be safest at? And it becomes a real hard decision for a lot of these teams, specifically the ones around Yasnaya, like you're talking about Tempo Storm, having to push their way back out of there. They have to get their gear as fast as possible and try to get to somewhere they consider to be safe, or where they think that the circle is going to go.
NRG moving through Primorsk, trying to grab as much as they can. They are going to try and leave this thing early. They don't want to contend with any possible bridge camps or choke points set up.
Got the underwear rocking on hard there. I always love it whenever you see people just running around, haven't had a chance. They got
no vest.
A helmet and a gun and just a buggy and a dream.
Yeah, they're going to try and get down. I guess they're going to try and cross right away, maybe try and hit some of the trash compounds around the edge of the military island. Spacestation Gaming not in a position to set up any choke points just yet. But for now, I think that C9 is starting to kind of filter towards that bridge area. Riem is there, Frolicker as well. All the eyes looking towards the transitioning energy. Are they going to be able to make this run across the bridge?
Well, another thing to be to note in this, with the plane path that we saw and how many people are kind of pushed around in the southern part of the map that we're looking at now, that means that boats are going to be really contended for. There's not going to be a lot of really good spots. There's all these areas. You don't get any of the boats that are on the northern area unless you're Dignitas and way up there. But it's going to be really hard. So everybody knows that they're either going to have to drive or swim, more than likely. There's going to be a couple of teams that might be able to find a boat. But I wouldn't be surprised if the teams that find boats early are going to try to steal every single boat they can, because, again, it's about denial of resources.
Yeah, denial of resources, the war of attrition, it's all factors in PUBG. Flyquest also looking to make their transition across. They're opting for the boat right now. Maybe they have more than one option there. They do leave a couple behind.
Rock the jet ski.
Yeah,
it's always fun to ride around on that. The jet ski
there is too. Yeah, they can just trying to get across and get a foothold here. Looks like Flyquest is going to be able to do that very, very early here, having started their loot phase in the Milta region. And that jet ski washes ashore, and Sharky, being a nice guy, waiting for Paradox to get that boat going. As we see the first down and kill of this game, it is Snowbird from Slime Squad getting eliminated.
Kind of interesting to see where their positioning is at on the map right now. I think that was just kind of something that's getting caught around the gas station area. There's a lot of squads that are trying to push across that bridge, and Slime Squad's under a lot of fire from orbit right now.
Absolutely. Slime Squad did lose one in transition. Looks like Microstar is separated. Actually, it's Carbon who's been stopped as well. Orbit playing a bit of a spoiler for the initial transition for Slime Squad. Carbon stuck behind as Wooly here still in his buggy driving around. And we did see, looks like most of Slime Squad make it past, but they're going to have to swim.
Yep, opting into the water strategy, living the mermaid life, doing what you have to do to try to make it across there. We already have Spacestation Gaming. Looks like they're doing something similar. Nova's managed to find themselves a couple of Rave Runners trying to run around here. Landoon doing the swim. That's always rough when you got one person that's riding around on the jet ski and pulls out and away from him. It's like, no, Landoon, you get to swim the rest of the way.
Sorry, man. So for these northern teams, I would expect, since Dignitas did commit, as we see Ghost Gaming transitioning across the bridge, fancy and free, no issues there for them. So they're going to maybe jump up on the top of this hill, try and set up. We have seen Ghost using that natural cover to high effect. We'll see if they continue that.
And they also have 4 vehicles, which is really important in a circle like this, because they can just kind of combine them together, make a little vehicle for it to play around. See, a lot of these teams are already having to opt into swimming or taking boats across. That means that they're not going to have that same opportunity. So Ghost already coming in, putting themselves in a great position on this. Also, great timing coming in really early. So we have a lot of the squads that are on the map still really condensed around the school area. Looks like they've kind of gotten a little entangled as everybody's just trying to hunt down some type of vehicle to make it over here.
So I'm not sure what Ghost's game plan.
Oh,
that's not part of the plan.
Kaden.
He's just doing a little. It's a trick. It's a trick.
Don't do it. I like how he's just sitting at like, okay,
He's like,
I
well,
give up, guys. I give up. Somebody come get me.
Come knock me over. Teamwork right there. Looks like Slime Squad is actually now returning fire. It's Carbon taking some putting down and finishing off Nikapa from orbit, but Kid Cody there to finish him off. So it is going to be Carbon. Not the last man standing, but the last man left across from his team, who has already crossed without him. So Carbon finding himself out of this game early. That's 2 down likely from Slime Squad.
One of the things that we've been talking about is the synergy that's going on with Ghost. I think that we're starting to see it's coming together over there. You notice they come over there, knock the vehicle back over there. Teamwork, they're getting it together. Looks like they finally found themselves their home that they're going to be going to. A lot of the teams already on military base,
choice.
So everybody's kind of post up. Dignitas in no rush to get over here, as well as Gankstars. Gankstars actually pushing back over towards the Kameshki area. I guess they feel like they haven't had a chance to get enough loot.
Yeah, they are too spread out. They do have Totality between them. Totality holding on to the Yasnaya region, still opting to take a longer loot phase, which makes some sense here.
Optic on a position on that. You can see that they're right on the edge, firing down onto everybody inside the water, and that's going to be Cloud9. You know, once they saw that first hit and they saw who they downed, they're just going to be laser beamed right into that spot, and they want to take them down now.
Strong spot for Ghost. Good selection as we see Space Station Gaming taking a couple of shots at Wildcard. Looks like Space Station Gaming has made landfall first. We join C9 here, who is still tangled with Optic Gaming, but on that the left side of the military island, we are seeing Wildcard trying to make landfall on top of Space Station Gaming. Flyquest here as well. You can start to see the pressure already mounting here in this first transition.
We got Baja's coming up. He's the sole member of Optic that's going to be able to land on this beachhead, so it's going to be up to him. He's going to have long-range support coming in to provide anything for him. Frolickers already post up. Looks like they know the Baja's coming up. Instantly just lights him up, and they're going to force him back towards the water. No cover coming from the other guys from Optic. I don't think they know exactly where he is at the time.
They do have a line of sight onto Frolicker. I'm not sure what they do have. They do see him, so Moody's now going to get finished. This is a big loss for them. Moody actually drowning. No kill points going out, I believe. So that is a good, one of the best options. The best option there.
15 points.
Yeah, that's 15 points denied, but that is a very important team member of Cloud9 lost here in the early game as Riem and Frolic are both taking tick damage. Not a lot for them to do as all of Optic watching. Baja Waka has made landfall, but Optic trapped on the main island still.
Yeah, I think that they're just kind of providing some form of relief.
I guess.
They don't have to leave as of yet. They have a foothold on that beachhead in case they need to jump back down. A couple of shots just kind of going back and forth. Frolicker still bouncing from tree to tree here, but K-Mine running over Pinta a little.
It happens. He's probably going 2 kilometers an hour. It's how it goes.
Yeah, you jump out, and it's always funny because either the driver gets blamed, and the driver always blames the person that jumped out in the passenger seat. Nobody can ever agree who's right or wrong in those situations.
No doubt. We have seen now Gankstars jump off the main island. They are going to make the long trek around in the first blue zone. Tempo Storm doing something similar. Dignitas traveling down, going to take the edge here to see what they can do from an option standpoint. Yeah, I don't think that Dignitas has really any motivation to get onto the island just yet, but you can see that military island filling with players. Team Gates also playing the edge strategy. Looks like Totality is going to adopt that mindset as well. Nova arriving in Novo. But God Squad sitting pretty dead center in the military base.
Well, this is their home. This is where they always drop. This is where they want it to be at. They have control over so many different areas in here. You can see that they've also separated out into multiple different spots so that way they can control different entrance points into the military base. This is the way you want to play military base if you drop here. You want to get as much control, deny anybody coming into those buildings you can. At this point, just a couple of bullets will turn a squad away from coming in. It's not until the circle really starts to condense that they'll go, okay, I'll drive through the bullets to get there.
So Ghost having grabbed, I think, one of the most important positions in this map, that hill just to the west of the military base proper. They have a nice divot up there. They have all of their vehicles. Frolicker still trying to find a way in here. He does have his teammate Stab nearby in the shack. Optic still lurking.
Well, they actually jumped down, and now they're making their swim across. Since Baja and the positioning that they had managed to force Cloud9 back behind these hills, they felt safe enough for them to jump down, and they're now making their swim across. Baja's off on the other side of these hills. He's just trying to make sure he maintains the foothold for them. But swimming right next to them is actually going to be trigger happy coming up behind it. So we'll have to keep an eye on how this all plays out, because the landfall stage can get pretty bloody if anybody's posted up. But I think that Optic taking those couple of pot shots down kind of scared everybody back out and away. And here's your great spot that you're talking about
really
that Ghost
nice.
is in. This is just such a beautiful point to play around. If you've got that
great
aim,
vision,
just playing full 360 degrees.
They
Don't go into buildings.
I think they
Don't
have
go
it.
into buildings if you've got aim like these guys. Just find a divot and just step up and shoot at anybody that comes
And
through.
look at that. We do see the circle shift and finish its transition, and it has centered right around that very strong position of Ghost. They're going to be able to use this hilltop position to really rain fire on anyone using that bridge to cross. And for now, I'm interested to know what NRG's game plan is here. They are split north and south in the circle. They do have building cover. I think they're just playing the odds here, but they're not going to have the ability to take those team fights. And I think a team like NRG has that ability.
I think it's because they got separated on their transition.
Yeah.
So they just had to commit to two different locations. The big problem that I can see is going to be for Totality. It's going to be for Team Gates and Dignitas. They're the guys that said, no, we're going to pray and hope that it goes on Orangel. And
there's no way that was going to happen.
Didn't happen.
Yeah, I think they're going to be able to come in maybe around the bridge area, maybe swim across. I don't know what they're going to be able to do here.
Yeah, and you can see Optic still holding the foothold. Trigger Happy still already on, like, making their way up on the beachhead. All these guys, I love this. This is what you have to think about. Okay, so the circle is condensed around the western bridge. So most of the teams are going to opt to go to the eastern bridge, hoping that those teams have already transitioned into the safe circle, so less chance of a bridge camp.
Absolutely. So Wildcard having arrived, they are now getting engaged a little bit with Tempo Storm. You can see Tempo Storm just off in the distance, Slime Squad in the front there. And now Tempo Storm is going to return that fire. Wildcard to my going down. That is their IGL being taken down right now. So for Wildcard, they arrived late. They've already taken one casualty, and now they're looking at both Tempo Storm and NRG.
Flyquest also in a position right over here next to Motivate.
HBN too.
Everybody's starting to condense down. Again, there's not a lot of areas to play around. And whoa, Motivate just walks right up into Flyquest, and that's not going to go so great for them.
Wow.
Sharky's trying to get a beat. They want to get this last down onto it.
Oh,
and that's
he's not
going to
gonna
be
make
all
it.
she wrote there, just getting a nice kill onto it. Sharky coming up big. That's going to be 2-3 kills out.
I believe so. I don't know where the last man is. I believe it is Zen, I believe, by himself in the back trying to get away, but Inferno is eliminated.
Yeah, at this point, just run.
Hey, look, he's got Motivate in his tag now. It's no longer LFT. We saw Motivate __ Inferno. So congratulations, Inferno.
You're
now part of the team. But for Blaze, he's down. Zen, the last man standing, trying to get away. Sharky looking for blood.
Sharky's still trying to come up around. He should hear the vehicle transition coming out, so he knows that Zen's coming out and retreating off of this. Go finish it off, get the last kill, get the loot off of it. That's always the thing. It's nice to get the kill points, but it's also good to get the goodies after you get the kill.
Zen.
But Zen has nowhere to go. You can see he's trying to drive out and around. Everywhere he tries to push into, Nova's in a position around him. He's trying to pull out, and it looks like he might even be heading over back to I think it's Eunited that's in that position.
So looking at the right side of the play zone, we can see most of the concentration of teams on the left-hand side. So for Totality and Gankstars arriving late, they don't have a lot in front of them, but Wildcard
on the map, they're going to be running right by Orbit. Are they going to crash into the same building up there?
I think there's the remnants of Orbit. They did trade a little bit with Slime Squad initially. Kid Cody is there, but right now it's Honeybadgernation taking shots at the moving Tempo Storm, and one does go down. That is Ben Q5 getting taken down by the SLR of Grizzly, and Pride is there as well. Tempo Storm having a really rough time.
They just don't have anywhere they can transition to easily. That's the hard part about this area that they're playing in. If you play along the coastline, you feel pretty safe because you've got the little rocks that you can play around. Once you push into that main open field, it's just wide and out. You can see all the area around them. Once they can maybe make it to those rocks and those trees, but it's just wide open plains past that. When you have a team like this beat it in, can they hit these headshots on it because it's so important, and the Pride barely misses it.
So for Wildcard, they haven't landed a kill on the board yet, but they have been receiving both pressure from other teams and trying to stay active to disrupt rotations, but really nothing going their way just yet, as Tempo Storm did take damage, but staying strong and find themselves again in decent position.
They did manage to find themselves a building, so they're on a little bit of damage control at this point. They have the cover piece they can play around. They probably feel pretty good about their positioning inside of the circle. I think that just about everybody's managed to find themselves some form of home, except for Team Gates, who's still way out on Military Base Island. New Circle has updated. It's going to be around the military base, right around that area where we were talking about with Ghost. Dignitas is just driving in and through. They have to find their new spot, and I can see that they're driving around about 5 different squads right now.
Now you can see Ghost is there. They will
Coming right
have
up on Frolicker.
Yeah, they will have a position here. And oh yeah, here comes Dignitas. You can see Frolicker at the bottom there. Frolicker is just going to try his best to try and grab a kill here. Does get some shots.
And gets it down on it. So that's going to be rough. That's going to force Dignitas to retreat back down. But if you're looking at the mini-map, you can see there's more squads going that direction. Dignitas is just trying to find anywhere they can go, throw out the grenade. Bookie looks like he's doing the push-up next to where Ghost is going to be at. He gets a couple of bullets. That's going to force him to retreat back down.
Frolicker, I'm not sure if he's stuck here or if there's a greater plan afoot, but we see Dignitas on their rotation. Bookie going down, Smeagol down from Gankstars, so that is Totality, and Gankstars getting tangled up on the right side of the play zone as it shifts. But now you can see it's starting to force players into movement. Tempo Storm, Slime Squad, Spacestation Gaming, all being forced into Honeybadgernation.
Right, all on top of each other. They're just trying to get on top of that hill over there. Meanwhile, Dignitas is just driving, trying to find somewhere they can go to. Looks like they're going to play along those ridge. But if we can pop over near that southern area of the circle where we've got Space Station Gaming. There we go. They've got the look up. They know where Honeybadgernation is. There's so many squads condensed around here. You can see right on the edge of it, within about 100 meters. They're just taking some pot shots back and forth. Dig's still driving around back over there.
They're not pushing it.
They're not. They're retreating off of it. I think that Space Station feels like they might be in a vulnerable spot. That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, for now, it looks like Honeybadgernation is going to live to see another day. Slime Squad is right on top of Tempo Storm. And down goes your boy Dre, and down and finished as Tony V takes him down. Maluk coming to support. I don't think Tony V saw him. He does back around the tree. Here comes Zampa. He trades, and he goes down as well. Zampa's down. Tony V going for it, but Maluk comes to save the day.
They just got to get the kill on this as fast as they can, and it's actually going to be Honeybadgernation that steals the kill on that, takes the points away. Can they maybe make it over there to get any reinforcements? Can Maluk make it over to Zampa? I think it's going to be risky for him to go for this, because remember, the circle is closing in. Space Station Gaming finally now coming alive, doing some damage to Honeybadgernation.
Oh, you can see them.
Look at this. He's just getting down after down on top of this. Totality also in a fight with Gankstars on the other side of the map right now.
Is eliminated. So we see Totality finish them off, but it is all about Space Station Gaming now going at Honeybadgernation as well. So now Timid is the last man standing, but Space Station Gaming is absolutely wiping these guys. Vexel does go down. Honeybadgernation trying to find a bit of a seam in this offensive push. Tempo Storm lurking in the background.
Look at that. Grizzly's going for a nice flank around the outside of this. Vexel instantly drops. They're hard pushed over to where Timid is at. So if Grizzly can actually sneak over here, might be really big for him, but I think they finally did spot him. I don't know if we can see if Maluk managed to make it over there. Yeah, Grizzly gets spotted, retreats back, and he's just going to come back over with the rest of the Honey Badgers.
So it's only Timid and Grizzly now left standing. 3 kills between them. They do have eyes on Tempo Storm still. Maluk taking fire. Honeybadgernation not allowing any of these guys to have any sort of leeway, as Maluk does kill Microstar. So that is Slime Squad eliminated.
And look, we popped over here. We've got Optic right in a position where they know where another squad is. I like this little sneaky move you can do. Jump up on top of the little tires in the corner there. Maybe try to get some shots back out. Trigger Happy, Dignitas, Optic, all right on top of each other. They are inside the safe circle at the direct time, though.
We're about to see a shift.
Update.
Yeah,
Let's see where we're going to see that next bit of action happening out as we're going to go where, Moses?
Center.
Straight up in center again. This is great for the guys. Dignitas, Trigger Happy. They're going to need to move forward just a little bit.
Oh!
Honeybadgernation just comes up and destroys Tempo Storm. They were sitting pretty in the leaderboard after the first round. This could be pretty big.
Yeah, for them, that's going to be an elimination, I believe, for Tempo Storm going out here very, very early. That is their third. That's the third team eliminated. Now it's going to be Space Station Gaming looking to clean up the remnants of Honeybadgernation. They know that Tempo Storm is now gone. I think they had enough information to know that they are relatively clear on this flank, as now we see NRG also getting involved. But now Yes, it is. NRG dealing with Cloud9. Riem, the last man standing,
So
trying
many
to
flanks.
smoke here, trying to save Frolicker.
They're coming from every single angle. You can see Woolie's got this side on it. Goes for a wide peek out and around. Riem's just trying to get the res off to the side, but it's just coming from everywhere. There's nowhere for him to retreat back off to. He's just taking so much damage off of this. Going for a strong peek on the outside. Tries to connect the shots, but can't quite get it.
Cloud9 also going down here very early in this game. Now NRG, a team that we've seen play very aggressive in the past, and I was just going to say this. Ghost is on the edge of the western portion of the new play zone. They still have their hilltop secure. They have the ability with Caden to hit those long sniper shots. He's looking at Honeybadgernation. Nothing there just yet. But Caden is the man to hit those shots.
He has to know that they're probably going to push for those oil derricks. Goes for the shot a little bit wide. At this point, Timid probably has a good idea. You can see instantly they drop behind the walls like, nope, that's a sniper shot coming our way. We'll just play along this wall and feel safe where we're at. But you're dead on with it. Ghost can play a gatekeeping position right now. As you can see, Optic is also kind of positioned around, holding out Trigger Happy and Dignitas. They heard that firefight that Dignitas got involved in a second ago. They're now trying to position themselves to catch them on a reposition.
So for Ghost, and actually looking at NRG now, they are looking at a transitioning Spacestation Gaming. The circle is closing, but Ghost is not allowing NRG any time and space. Honeybadgernation does kill Kaint, so now I believe Wildcard is eliminated as well. I can't see anyone left on the map, but we'll get that updated very. Yeah, that is them eliminated, as now NRG and Spacestation Gaming going at it.
I gotta say, K-Mine has been on fire lately. He wants to get these kills. If he can get up and active, you can see he plays for position. He's starting to get that point where he can tell he feels comfortable on this part of the map. He wants to play around it. He's taking the shots over towards the guys at Spacestation Gaming. The new circle just off in the distance, 100
They're not
feet
going to push it. They know Ghost is there. They know Ghost is there. They can't do anything, so they're going to back off. That's a smart move from them, or at least allow Spacestation Gaming to come to them. NRG cannot push to finish that, so Ghost is really affecting this current transition period. And for Ghost, we'll have to see what they try and do here, as now they're in a position where they're going to have to move, most likely.
But Optic has been so quiet. You can see that Dignitas is aware of their positioning, but they technically haven't really lit up anybody as of yet. Grenades now coming down, does connect with Gustav. I said that giving away Gustav's position, essentially. Hypox already going for a side position off on this. Trigger Happy is now using this firefight that's occurring to force them to come up and forward. Spacestation Gaming now coming back up behind NRG, but look at this. Wooly says no, and a great position off to the side of them.
That flank. NRG has been playing so well in team fights, and we see Spacestation Gaming, I believe, get eliminated. I don't see anyone left, but NRG and Ghost going 2v1 on Spacestation Gaming, eliminating them here in 14th place. Unfortunate finish for them, but for now, NRG has been playing so well in their team fights, getting out and flanking, not afraid to get position, but now NRG having still barely made it into the zone, have a lot of eyeballs looking their way, Optic included.
You can see they just crest on top of this hill. They do have a little bit of a foothold to play around. Optic has a lot of targets around them, so it's all about which direction Optic chooses to lean into. Flyquest is just on the other side of him. NRG is firmly aware. You can see they've got the scopes, they've got the sights. They see exactly where Ghost is going to be at. And that's going to be two different downs coming out right there. That's going to be real rough for the guys.
I think that we just looked at Gustav, who's laying on the ground, but it is now K-Mind and the rest of NRG taking a look at Ghost Gaming. They are going to poke long distance, but I don't know if they want to do too much damage. They have equal cover essentially with these hilltop ridges, and it's not going to be too much of a transition for NRG. We do see that new circle, and it is going to be focused around Optic Gaming and Flyquest.
It means these guys, they're playing around the edge of military base. They're going to have to push in over towards Nova is going to be at. I don't think that too many of these guys have vehicles, so they can't do a fast or hard push out and around. These guys in the hills are going to need to make their way into the lowlands to try to make it in the safe circle. So they're probably going to opt on very wide crests out and around.
So Trigger Happy is in an interesting position here where they're going to be watching NRG come towards them. NRG does have that ridge protecting them so far, but it is Trigger Happy with the line of sight. Maybe not. That. I guess that forest is there protecting them. I think NRG might be able to sneak in here relatively unscathed.
This is kind of funny because a second ago we saw Optic Gaming kind of gatekeeping Trigger Happy, but now they're unlikely allies as they're both going to be looking right the direction that NRG is going to be coming, so it's going to be about how they bisect it. We do see that Ghost has gone for a full shift, and they're pushing into military base proper.
That's an interesting choice from them. I'm not sure what the motivation is, but they're going to run around that fence. They did see Honeybadgernation there. Maybe they know it's relatively clear. Timid is still there, but God Squad is in transition. They do have the zone. This might not be great for Ghost Gaming.
So we'll have to see how this plays out. You can see NRG, I'm not sure if they're aware of where Trigger Happy is, but they don't have the best line of sight. Ghost is just cutting straight in through this. They're not playing around the outside of it, but that's going to be the guys that are going to be set up from God Squad are in a position. Remember, this is their home. This is where they dropped at, and now they're playing right along the edge, and they can just see everybody from Ghost. They're trying to lean into this wall to provide them to cover.
Oh,
a nice
Caden!
shot coming out from Caden, just gets the drop on it. That's just going to release Ghost to go crazy.
So that was the outside flank. Pat Caps was definitely
with
holding that
push.
fence. Yeah, Profi's going for the wide flank. Drassel is held inside the factory area. Caden always looking for those headshots. He's got Drassel in his sights. He just needs the right time as we move back to NRG. Looking at, that is K-Mine going at Traded as well now. We have a fight breaking out here 3 ways.
Running straight up, does get line of sight on Gunner, gets it down onto that. Gonna retreat, so that's gonna pull him off to the side of it. K-Mine's trying to get up and active. That's gonna be multiple downs now coming out for Trigger Happy. They're under a lot of pressure at this time. Only Cover Fire is up and alive. He's just retreating out of the situation. He knows that Optic's up there. All of those gunfights just drew their attention, so he wants to pull back out and away from this, leaving his friends behind.
So for now, NRG, they do have Trigger Happy on the ropes. Caden and the rest of Ghost Gaming have moved into the military base.
Pistola time.
Absolutely. So Pistola time is in the factory. Ghost on the exterior. I think God Squad now in a position to be defensive. They have lost 2 of their members. Flyquest now getting involved also with NRG. Lots of action all over the map, Matchroom.
And with 34 still alive, everybody's going to be pushing into a dead man's land right on the outskirts of military base, coming right down this hillside. So we've got the guys that are inside military base proper. We've got the guys that are on the hill. We're going to have to see how this next circle populates and forces everybody to kind of interact. Do we have to go up the hill? Do the guys on the hill have to come down into the military base location? You can see all the buildings are essentially taken at this point. Totality's trying to fight their way up next to it.
Again.
And it's just going to be right in the middle. The guys on the hill, Optic, are going to have a little bit of places that they can play around, not have to move too far, but everybody else is going to have to run up a hill.
So for Motivate going down here, 12th place. Caden now getting actually Pistola time on that flank. Caden staying extremely active in this game, but now it's all about Optic versus NRG. NRG having taken 1 casualty. Jnark is down. Wooly there with 5 kills, 8 kills total. NRG is going to have to go against a full strength Optic Gaming squad, as it looks like Ghost has completed that complete flank, and they only have Taylor J left on God Squad. And Ghost is now going to be taking that that radar tower area. But yes, NRG versus Ghost. Interesting to see how this goes.
We're kind of looking at a wall right now that has been set up with Flyquest and Optic. Anybody's going to have to try to push in through them. You can see on the mini-map, it's going to be Team Gates trying to push into Flyquest. Flyquest actually also has to keep an eye on where Cover Fire is, and also has to keep an eye on NRG, because they don't want to bisect in. They still aren't in the safe circle right now. They're opting into just taking shots on the outside of it, and you see it's paying off for them. That's 2 downs they've now got onto Gates. Circle is now starting to condense down, so this is where everybody's going to have to start their hard push.
So for NRG, they've managed to med up, but now they're going to be forced in. So that's going to be NRG going right at Optic Gaming, but that southern portion of the play zone, Ghost has found a decent position. NRG has all things on the line here. They're going to have to push right into Optic Gaming. Optic Gaming ready for them. They know they're there.
Hypoc presses up on top of that hill. He's going to be able to see Wooly. Is he going to just turn on it? And yeah, instantly gets the drop onto him. That's going to put NRG under a lot of pressure, but a nice push off the side.
Trade.
He can't get the down on it. Hypoc is still alive. That could be huge for this K-Mine. Needs to get a push onto this. They know that they're under a lot of pressure. He has now given away his position. Grenade comes out, doesn't quite connect. The return grenades are now starting to come out. NRG is right up on top of Optic. Valley, it's taken a lot of damage. They're just holding the angles, waiting to see how NRG is going to come up. The smoke's going to play a lot of damage on it. Pizzolo's trying to get something off it. Oh! Trying to push up and forward on it. They know that they need to come up. Valley returns on it, and there's nothing they can do with it. You are dead on Moses there. Now down and out. Now we've got all the guys on the southern part of the circle. They're trying to come in. You can see it's going to be Totality pushing right up next to where Nova. Ghost already in a movement stage at this point, opting to come out and circle into the hillside, and there's going to be a crate right next to him to give him some presents from heaven.
They're going to have to grab that hillside, but Optic Gaming, having finished off NRG, is going to be moving that way as well, as we now see NRG actually having no real option. I really like the positioning of Valiate. He had that flank defense set up. He did take damage, but he gave his team the right information, and they were able to take all the members of NRG without losing a single one on Optic. So for now, it's really a position on that left side of the play zone between Ghost and Optic, and that right side is absolutely lighting up.
It's a Ghost. We have Flyquest that has control over that area, so we're coming over here with Ghost, who does see nice shots coming out from Venerated, doing a lot of damage onto Optic. They do have that position. They do have the building. They're just trying to get what they can off of this. They are now forced down into these trees. You can see using smoke to move from cover piece to cover piece, but we can already see Optic has lost their helmets. They're starting to take damage. They've been involved in a lot of fights at this point.
Absolutely. So that attrition, that is going to be an issue as Flyquest is now getting picked apart from the rear. Team Gates taking shots.
Caden got knocked by Hetro up on top. Again, that's the risk of trying to run up this hillside. You can see everybody on Ghost is separating out, just having to jump from tree to tree, trying to figure out if they're going to go backboard. Smokes are now coming down. There is a ghillie suit, maybe getting the res on it.
Caden's out.
Yeah, couldn't get it in time.
So for that's a big loss for Ghost, and now Optic Gaming, knowing that it's Ghost below them, looking to try and take it to them. Valiant again on that wide flank defense, holding that security so that the Flyquest can't get around behind them. Ghost does have the option to essentially just move slightly into the circle. Ghost does as well, but they have taken the first win here so far at taking out Caden.
And it's big to note that Optic has not yet moved inside the circle. The only people that actually have at this point are Flyquest. Finally, we do see Ghost that's gotten inside there. The whole time, though, remember we've been seeing Flyquest and Team Gates fight. Mosey is still alive, but there is a large holdup that's happening on down here. Nova taking a lot of damage. Richie goes down. Totality wants to move up. They're still 4-man strong.
How did McCoy get that? McCoy just stole that kill.
All the way across the map. Look way over there. He's now peppering down. Taro's taking so much damage, he has to drop. They have to outrun the circle and make it over. Ghost is just turned on them. They're like, okay, we know how this feels. We're going to take you guys down as you have to run up the hill now. It's just down after down coming from them.
McCoy takes down Purdy, now interrogating the open, takes one in the face, and that's another one. Profi now online as well. It's all about Totality trying to survive this push. Los HD only by himself now. 3 men down, trying to finish. No kill steals happening here. Profi takes down Purdy, and now it's going to be Smithy going down to the play zone. I believe now it's going to be all about Los HD trying to salvage this round for Totality, again coming apart here in the late game.
We still have Team Gates Mossy playing along that hillside. Circle is now, look, everybody's trying to get to a decent spot, but I think Loss is actually outside. He's inside the blue. He's just tanking for position at this point, burning through what meds that he can. So they're essentially out of this, and we're down to these final 4. Ghost is using this ridge line to try to push out and around. You can see Optic can't get a good line of sight on them. So now they have control over this whole back end section of the map. Gonna be interesting to see if he sees Mossy. If they do take him down, that could be big, but we already have Flyquest in this high ground position, and now due to that long fight that we saw between Optic and Ghost, Optic have kind of lost their little foothold location because they have to now push into where a setup Flyquest is.
There goes Totality, so they're out in 5th place. But it looks like, and look at Ghost, they're running right at them. Actually, that was sad. So Venerated takes him out. Team Gates eliminated. Flyquest, it's Ghost rotated.
Venerated, get out of the blue, get out of the blue.
He's just grabbing some meds, I imagine, maybe a helmet or something like that. But for now, it's, oh my God, Profi got a complete flank onto something, and now it's only Steezy left.
Just pops up like a jack-in-the-box, takes him down. This could really swing it. I gotta say, Ghost feels really in control over this circle right now. Optic is trying to move in. You can see they do have that vehicle they can play around, but Flyquest has lost their nice positioning now, and they're on damage control. It's just Steezy right now that's just hiding down, trying to bunker down and pray nobody that looks his direction. Optic does have control over most of the circle, though. Still 4-man strong, so it is technically a 4v3v1 at this point, Moses.
Absolutely. For Optic, they have been passive, but they have stayed 4 up. They have Hypoc on the defense. They are moving around to where they hear the shots. Venerated just spots the members of all of Optic. He's going to throw a grenade here, throws it down the hill. I think a little bit too short. But way short, but regardless, here's Valiant on the flank defense again, something he's been doing all this time. Trades, takes down Profi with the Vector of all things, and here comes Venerated to try and trade. Valiant holding on, trying to get the headshot. Venerated is not going to allow it.
Venerated's holding his top position, but a nice side flank comes out. It's all onto Venerated at this point. He's looking down to multiple members. He knows that he probably can't get the res off of it. Valiant's down on the outside of it. Baja looks like he's in a position trying to get the res on it. Hypoc's going for a nice flank off to the side on this. Opts into pulling back. I think that they just want to play some type of defensive position. They know who they're going against, but the whole time, Steezy is still alive.
He's going for the res. He's going for the res.
They got the reprieve.
Both teams going for the defensive, the best option right now. Profi going to get rezzed. Steezy BB just crawling in, but they had the res first. They're going for the push. Here it comes.
Coming off 2 different angles. Venerated tries to go for it. He gets taken down. Now that means that Optic is going to be in full-on control. It's just Steezy hiding back behind them. See if he can do any damage onto it. This is a full 4-man squad. He tries.
Nope.
He tries. But he does set his team in 2nd place. And I got to say, nice performance coming out that round from Optic.
Absolutely. Optic Gaming adjusted very well to everything handed to them. They were able to secure that win with just patience, it felt like, where they were taking fights where necessary. They picked up some nice amounts of kills, but it was really Ghost Gaming again. It felt so active throughout that entire game, but on the